Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Modern Contractor. We are so grateful you're here to join us today, and I am grateful to have our amazing guest, the Miss Adi Klevit, who is the founder of Business Success Group and also is a podcast host of the Systems Simplified podcast. For today, I am your host, Jennifer Lao Hatcher, co-founder of One in Fund, and the EVP of Enterprise Growth here at One Click Contractor. So, Adi, welcome. Thank you so much for making time to join us today. We're grateful to have you here.
Thank you, Jen, for having me. I am so excited. You were a guest on my podcast on the Systems Simplified, and we had such a great episode. So I am very excited to be here as well.
As am I. It's kind of like continuing our fun journey of where we started, but this time I'm asking you the questions instead. So, are you ready to dive into our super fun questions today?
I am. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So, first and foremost, I know the answer to this, but not all of our listeners do. So, can you tell us about how you got started in the home improvement industry, and if you had a big break moment or aha moment, what was that?
Sure. So first of all, what we do is we create, document, optimize, and implement processes and procedures. And we are actually industry agnostic. That's how we started. We service all type of industries. But then I got introduced to my first client in the home improvement company. That was in 2011. And I go, oh, wow, this is a great area that we can really help, because by putting processes, systems, organization, we can really make a big difference. Because you know how it is, usually you go into companies when they are starting, the smaller companies in the trades, is the owner is usually also the main technician, the main estimator. They're doing everything, and as they're growing and scaling, and they need to shed some of those hats, they need help. And that's where I recognize that is an area that we can excel at, and we can help people, and great people that want to do good things. And it's so important to have more and more people in the trades. This is something that is not going to go away, because AI is not going to go into your home and fix something. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to fix it's not going to replace the plumber, right? I mean,
I'm not ready.
It's kind of it's an industry that you have to support, that it's worthwhile supporting because of the effect that it creates. So the first business that I work with in the trades were actually a painting contractor. When we started with him, it was him and his wife. The usual story was him and his wife and a few painters that were not stable and was trying to hire. So we worked with him and we really established the organization. So we decided, okay, you need a foreman. You need somebody that can be in the field, an estimator. At the time he was also working with a family member. It wasn't working out, so he separated, started his own new company. But we created those systems for him. Here's a foreman. This is a checklist what a foreman needs to do. Here are the processes of what they need to do. A painter, okay, what level? You have somebody who just started, somebody who is a master painter. We separated into that. Here are the systems for your sales system, your marketing systems. This is how you keep track of leads. This is what you do. So we created all those playbooks on how to run the business. And fast forward, that was years ago, but today we worked for years together, and now he's on his own and he has 2 successful companies, and he is doing fantastic because he has all those basics and all those foundations in place.
So that's one of the things I love about your company the most, is that you're bringing those systems and you can help somebody take the chaos, if you will, and put it into standard operating procedures and put it into a way they can scale. in my background, one of the things I used to say all the time, and I still do almost daily, is consistency plus efficiency equals growth. Right? If you can be consistent and you can be efficient, then you can grow. If you don't have those two pieces, which is what you help provide, then it's really hard to grow and scale at the X amount that people want to. So that's one of the things I absolutely love about what your company does, because it's such a huge need for anybody running a company. Particularly in our beautiful world of home improvement and beyond.
Very
right?
true.
So
very true.
Yeah, it's incredible what you do.
Thank you.
So that's what you do today. What did you want to be when you grew up? And how close or how far did you come from what you wanted to be when you grew up?
It's funny because when I was growing up, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to have my own business. And you grow up and you look at you see the TV shows, right? I mean, wear the suit and the heels and go to work every day and boss people around and tell them what to do. So not quite, not at all. And we live in a different era, but it was still, I always wanted to be my own boss. I always wanted to have my own company, and so I came very close in that regard. I definitely came very close in terms of, yes, I did create a wonderful company that I love my staff, I love my team, I love our clients and what we do every single day. And it's so rewarding. And I think, when I was growing up, I wanted, if you ask me, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to have your own company? Why do you want to do what you do? And maybe at that point, I didn't know exactly why, but I can tell you the why behind it is because I wanted to make a difference, and I want to make a difference, and I want to give it all I can. And when it's your own company, you give it all you can. Not that when you work for somebody else, you don't, but it just takes things to a whole different level. And that's what I enjoy most about what I do.
I love it. And I empathize with that because I didn't really realize it right until you said it, but that was always one of my goals when I was little that I didn't connect with, again, until this very moment of oh yeah, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and hey, here we are.
That's right. So here we are.
Here we are. It's amazing how things work out, but that's a whole other different conversation on manifesting and creating and all of those wonderful pieces of life. Okay, let me shift gears a little bit to leadership. You are a leader. You work with leaders every single day. Along the way, what's one of the best pieces of leadership advice you received, and how has it helped shape you?
The best advice that I received is that, no matter what, you are accountable and responsible. And sometimes it's hard to swallow that, and sometimes it's hard to understand that. But life teaches you that very quickly when you're in a leadership position. And that, you don't do it in order to be liked or be admired by other people, but you do what you need to do. And if you do, you keep your integrity, you do what you know you need to do, and you do the right thing, then you get the rewards. You're not going to get the rewards every single time. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody is going to say how wonderful you are. But if you do it well, you are going to get it more times yes than no.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay. For the record, team, if you're listening or watching to this right now, I have not given Adi any of these questions ahead of time. I told her we're going to have a really fun conversation today. And so she is literally getting these as I choose to serve them up, which is super fun.
It is. It's the best. It's the best because it comes from the heart. It's the true answer. You don't have to rehearse for it. So yes, absolutely. I agree.
There's nothing to script out. You just get what you get. I love it. These are also my favorite kind to show up for, right? Having the questions is fun, but going off the cuff definitely drives the authenticity of the answers that you're getting. Okay, so you've been in this industry and others a long time. Specific to, if you can think of something, specific to home improvement, what's something that you're coaching to today or doing today that 10 years ago would have been unthinkable?
Well, of course, it's the implementation of AI and implementation of automation and the different technologies. So I think if I took it, I mean, I know this is an answer that can be given, being given a lot, but I think one aspect that is interesting that I thought about in the last couple of weeks, because it comes up more and more, is actually doing a technology audit as we document the processes. So we created different processes, but then for each step or each process, we also figure, okay, what technology are you using? And you have so many tools now that sometimes it's an overload. So basically the pendulum swings to the other side. So maybe 10 years ago, there was one tool that was doing it, but not really doing it. It was more human, and it was less automated. But now, because there are so many, I encounter companies that, and myself included, I talked to you before the show in terms of, oh, you're using that tool.
Yes.
And I also have that tool, and I have a subscription to that tool. Before you know it, you have a subscription to so many tools that are only $15 to $30 a month. And before you know it, it adds up to a lot. So I think it's like something that I never thought I would do that. But when we now trying to optimize processes, we also look at what is it that you are using that maybe we can optimize so you can use maybe one solution instead of 10 to solve the same problem.
You know what's really interesting, Adi? We have the same conversation a lot, but in a different way. So a lot of times we'll talk to companies about their processes and their sales processes and what they're using on the back end. And their tech stack is this big. And when we start to have a conversation, they even start to realize like, oh yeah, I pay for this, but I don't use it. Oh, well, I have this over here and it does this minor little thing, but we have to keep it because of this. And so I probably have a lot of referrals to send your way, because consolidating that tech stack is something that is not only important for businesses to streamline their processes and their bottom line and what they're spending, but help make them more efficient and consistent on a daily basis across their departments, because so often we find those silos between departments too, where they're using different software in different departments that's doing the same thing. And so tech stack is a really big conversation that comes up in our world as well.
Absolutely. And it's not just, the tech stack. In order to actually compress it or you just use what you need, you gotta know your processes. What I learned is to collaborate with others, because I then teamed up with other entrepreneurs, other service providers, other trusted advisors, and we created webinars. I opened my Zoom room for anyone and everyone that had any questions. I was there to serve and give support and help. And I ended up having 2020 was one of my best years in business. In June, things got reverted. I had the biggest June. I got introduced, because I did that, I met so many people. I got introduced to someone who referred to me 2 big clients, one of the biggest clients I've ever had. And things just went in the right direction. But I can tell you it was scary, because I didn't know what was happening, and I think none of us knew what was happening. I was able to, using the favorite words we had then, is to pivot, to adapt the circumstances to what was needed. And it definitely, one of the things going out of the pandemic was, never put your eggs in one basket. So we definitely diversified in terms of networking, in terms of marketing, because at the time, all of my marketing consisted of in-person networking and relying on my referral network. So now we have so many avenues, so we do different things. And that's also when I started my podcast. So that was a different avenue. It definitely took some courage to do that. It wasn't, I didn't think I was built for that, but I decided to do it and to try it anyway. And I learned a lot. And it definitely made me tougher. I'm sure a lot of other people, it made them tougher.
Definitely. There's, from that time in particular, pivot was the exact word that came to mind as you were talking, of we're going down this path and this path is now, washed away. It doesn't exist anymore. How do we adjust, pivot, adapt? And I'm grateful you did, because we get to have this conversation now.
Thank you.
So, Adi, you had mentioned your team earlier, and team is a really big piece of any business. It is arguably the most important part of any business because if you don't have a loyal and engaged team, you're simply not going to be able to serve your customers the way you
No.
want. So, what is your secret to creating a team that's loyal and engaged?
It's hiring, right? So we have a great hiring procedure that we also teach our clients, or we document for our clients, and we use it. So I'm selective. I put it up front, like what are our core values and who we're looking for, and who are the individuals that we're looking for. That's the hiring is great, and I'm willing to wait until I find the right individual. And so that's one. Training our employees, our team is very important. So we have processes and procedures for everything. We have actually 200 of them, believe it or not. One of my staff members yesterday counted it.
Okay.
But we have, how we train a consultant, how we train a technical writer. We have a good training for marketing. Everything that we do, we also document, so it's always there. And I think we have like zero tolerance for people that do not produce. We're a small team. Everything is very visible. Mm-hmm. We measure everything, and we see who produces and who doesn't. And if they don't, they're just not a part of the team. And if they do, they get rewarded very well. They get promoted. They can take responsibility. I don't like micromanaging. I like people that are basically self-sufficient and can manage themselves. And I reward for it. So I think they have great rewards, but also we don't tolerate non-production, but we give the tools. We give them. I can see it firsthand what having well-documented processes does for a company, because I can train anybody that we onboard and bring them up to speed very fast. And if we are missing a procedure, we write it and then we roll it out. There is no arbitraries in terms of like, oh, you do it this way one day and another way next day. It's very predictable what is expected from you. Our communication is very clear as well. The way we communicate, how we communicate, the platforms we use to communicate. We have a lot of organization on that because we are remote. So we need to even take it to a whole new level, right? So there is still, you feel like you're in the office and you are communicating and collaborating, although each and every one of us is in our own environment.
100%. And I hear that consistency over and over, right? That anybody with a good culture fit should be able to pick up your processes because they're so well documented and it's very consistent and be successful maybe anywhere in the world.
Exactly, it's anywhere. Yeah, absolutely. I have a consultant that works with me and she's in South Africa. I have them all over the US. Absolutely. And one of the things is also creating a really good culture. So we have a culture, like validation and acknowledgement is very important to us. So when somebody does a good job, we have on our Slack channel in general, we post those successes and we celebrate those successes. So that is great, because what do you want? Like as an employee, as a team member, when you go to work, not just as an employee, as a team member, or is like even if you are running your own business, what is it that you want?
As a human.
Right, as a human, what do you want? You want to make sure that you want to know that you made a difference. If you're giving everything, you want to know that you made a difference. You want to know that people are actually using what you did. So I post little snippets of talking to clients. Like I just came off a call before this one, and the clients were just like, oh yeah, it was the entire leadership team. This helps us so much. Now we're more organized. Now we are this. Now we can do that. We can train. We can do. And they said the consultant that I work with was awesome. The technical writer that wrote it is amazing. So I validate that. I show it to the team. We celebrate that. And it just creates that harmonious environment that people want to be part of.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. That acknowledgement of your hard work is making this impact, or you made this extra effort and it's noticed. It seems so small, but it can be so huge in somebody's day. And we do the same on our Slack channels. We acknowledge the successes, and also when people have successes, we have them call them out, because when we're remote all over, in our case the US, it's hard to necessarily know all of those things going on if you don't have that constant streamline of communication, and it does make a really big difference.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Okay. I cannot wait to hear your answer on this next question. What is a trend that you think is overhyped right now?
Oh my, can I say AI? But I don't know if it's overhyped.
You can say anything you want. It's a open forum.
Look, I think AI is here to stay. I love AI. I am an early adapter. We use it, but I think where it's overhyped is the thought that it can do things for you where it really can't, or where you can just let go and not still be in control. For example, when I tell people what I do, we document your processes, we create them, document, optimize, implement. There's probably an AI software that can do it. Well, if you can find that AI software, please let me know, because you can't. You can use tools to make your work faster, and we do 100%. I mean, nowadays, when we get on a Zoom video or an online video conference and we record, immediately I get the transcript, not a problem. And then we can use the transcript in order to create the processes, for sure. But you don't have an AI that is going to ask you all the questions that we are asking. There's going to be no AI that will think, okay, well, you know what, let's not do this, but do that. I mean, the AI can be a strategic partner when we prompt it correctly. So I think the overhyped is when the AI can replace people. They can replace certain positions, for sure, but it will also create more opportunities. So I really think that the future is beautiful in terms of the opportunities that we can create. Like yesterday, I was thinking, wow, I accomplished so much in a day that before AI, it would have taken me 3 days. But because I was so efficient, I know how to prompt correctly, I know how to get the responses. It was just like one thing after the other, and I got everything done. So that was amazing. But I still had to direct it. So I think the overhype is that it will just do it for you with you checking out, and that's not going to happen.
Definitely. If I can layer on that 1 second, I think another thing that sometimes goes miss that we have to call out is AI is only as good as what it is fed. So there are real places, particularly in your business, right, where there's scenarios that you have been through or your team has been through, and you know the questions to ask. You also know how to solve it. AI doesn't know to ask that, and it certainly doesn't know how to solve it because it hasn't been fed those things yet. So it's a great tool. There are still gaps, any way, shape, or form you look at it. And it feels like sometimes that's a miss as well, of like, well, AI can do it. Well, AI doesn't have all of the answers. Right. It's a tool to help get to those.
That's true. And another thing is that there are so many tools out there. So yesterday I was interviewing a marketing executive, an owner and founder of a marketing consulting company. And she gave that conversation, of course, came up, and she gave a great answer, because she said it, the expertise. So what's the difference? The question was, I can go to ChatGPT and write a blog. Why should I use your services? I mean, not that crude, but this is a raw question, but almost to that effect. And she said, well, we have the tools and the experience. Like if you try to do it as a business owner, I know how much time it takes to learn one thing. It's like you have to dedicate yourself. You have to do that. Who has time to do that? And then you're only learning one tool. If that's what you do for a living, then you see all the tools that exist out there. You invest the time to go to conferences and industry conferences. I do continuing education all the time to keep on top of everything. I have a dedicated team member they do R&D, the research and development of AI, because we need that. But they have time that's their job, is to go and listen to all the YouTube videos that exist on the subject of X. takes them 3 days. Good. Who has time to do that as a business owner? So therefore, you have that knowledge, so then it becomes valuable and it can be exchanged as a service.
Absolutely. 100%. Okay, I'm shifting gears. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Completely not related to work. What's one non-work thing you're really good at?
I am really good at, well, cooking. I'm good at cooking. That's good. I'm definitely good at that. But I'm also good at finding things that I like to do outdoors. I am going, for instance, for hiking in the mountains in Colorado in a few weeks. I live in Oregon, which is a beautiful, beautiful place for outdoor activities. And I am just good at tuning everything out, just unplug, relax, and just be in the moment when I'm doing that. So that's for me, it's a blessing because that's how I recharge.
I love it. I love it. All right, another non-work question. What's your go-to karaoke song? Or the one you would sing if nobody was watching?
Oh, I can see clearly now. I love that
yes.
song. I love that song. It's just like, it so communicates to me. It's an uplifting song. Very, it's just like, I love that. So I guess that would be my song. But don't ask me to sing it right now.
I will not ask you to sing it, I promise, because anything I would ask you to do, I would have to do, and I am definitely not singing. Definitely not today, or probably any day on the podcast. Okay, so we've covered a lot of pieces. I want to ask you one more personal question and one more work question.
Okay.
So I feel like the personal one I want to ask, we've kind of already answered, but that's okay. I'm going to ask it again anyways, and I'm going to refine it down. What's one small moment in life that brings you joy?
Spending time with my family brings me a lot of joy, with my husband and my son, and just having a good meal, a good talk, nobody, the phone's away, just sitting down and talking and laughing, just like exchanging stories, laughing, talking, and having that connection. Those small moments really mean a lot to me.
I love it. And same, right?
I know you
But,
can
like,
relate
families-
because it's kind of like, you don't need the big,
Yes.
like those little moments are so important. And if you can enjoy them, that's all you need, really.
Yes. Joy in the small things often relates to joy in big things. So 100%. My people still rank above my company.
That's right.
and I love them both with all my heart, but the people are it, right?
That's right.
Okay. Next generation of contractors coming in. There's kind of this juxtapose of people who've been around a really long time, people who've been around some time, and then we have this rush of new contractors coming in. So, what advice do you have to the new generation of contractors coming in, the advice that they need to succeed?
Don't do it yourself. There is so much knowledge, and there is so many trusted advisors out there that are so knowledgeable, and there is also solutions, like the solution, Jen, that you provide for contractors in terms of the financing. I mean, it's huge. Don't try to figure it out yourself. Reach out to people that have done that have the expertise. Basically, it's a tribe that you don't have to do it by yourself. It's kind of like the advice you give to a new mom. What do you do? Well, rely on your community, right? There is a tribe around you. There are people, get connected to the people that really know. I mean, there is so many resources out there. So definitely investigate what they are, research, find out the ones that work for you, but don't reinvent the wheel. I mean, there is so much opportunity for success. Just use your right resources.
Ooh, I love that. That's really, really good advice. And that's where many people get stuck, is they're so busy working in their business that they don't get out of out of the weeds to work on their business as fast as they want. And it becomes a cycle, and it becomes hard to break that cycle. That's excellent advice.
Thank you.
All right, Adi, before we end this amazing episode, is there any questions, comments, concerns that you want to share with me or our audience? Are we feeling good?
I'm feeling great. I want to thank you. And we need to thank Brianna Heather in turn for introducing us.
We do.
We got it.
Love you,
Love you. She's awesome. I mean, she connects. She's such a connector. And definitely she has amazing masterminds. I mean, if you don't know Brianna, then listen to the episode I did with her and you'll get to know her. And you probably interviewed her as well. So we have all of that. So
I was going to say she is coming up for recording, I think in the next 2 weeks or so. So that will be a very dynamic episode.
I am not going to miss that. I want to definitely, that's going to be an amazing episode. So yes.
Adi, thank you so much again for carving time out of your really busy schedule to join us and share your expertise today. We are so grateful from the Modern Contractor, and I personally can't wait to talk to you again really soon.
Same here. Thank you so much.